Hey guys, this is my NFC North draft recap, and I'm going to be doing this for every team, every division, starting with the NFC North. And in the NFC North, I'm going to be starting with the Chicago Bears. So looking at their draft, I really liked their first pick of the draft, Dylan Thieneman at 25. I think it was great value. I had him going at 18 to the Vikings, but he fell a little bit to 25. And safety is a huge need for them. Safety, D-tackle, edge. I would say are the three biggest needs, and they addressed one in the first round. I also really like the Logan Jones pick in the second round because they did trade for Garrett Bradbury, but Logan Jones can develop behind him and be a good starting center a few years down the line. But that being said, that is the only other day two pick I like from them. Sam Roush, I don't know how to say his last name. Good blocking tight end. The Bears probably have the best tight end room in the league with Colson Loveland and Cole Kmet. So I don't really see a point to it. Unless you're going to have Colson Loveland playing in the slot for majority of the season, then Sam Rouse can be your backup tight end, which then it would be a good pick. I think Malik Muhammad also was a great pick for them. Good value in the fourth round as a good depth corner. He can even turn into a starting corner if Tyreek Stevenson leaves in free agency, maybe next year. I don't know when he's a free agent. I also like the Keyshawn Elliott pick. I think he was good value in the fifth round. But then the other two picks, they had Xavier Thomas and Jordan Van Den Berg. I don't really know much about them, but it's good depth, I guess, because the Bears don't really have a wide receiver 3 outside of Rome and Luther Burden, so maybe Thomas can be that for them. Next up, the Detroit Lions, and I actually really like their draft class. First round, they addressed a big need tackle with Blake Miller, and he is a right tackle, so is Penei Sewell, but they are going to be moving Sewell to left tackle. So Blake Miller fills their last remaining O-line spot and makes it into a good O-line. Derek Moore in the second round, I also liked. I think I actually had him going to the Lions in the second round. And he's a good edge rusher. He's going to be playing opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, which I thought a second edge rusher was a big need for them. And it does make their two edge rushers both from Michigan. So that's nice. But Derek Moore does have some character issues, I've heard. So hopefully those don't come back to bite them. They also had one of my favorite picks of the draft, Keith Abney in the fifth round. I think he was a great player. I had a second round grade on him. I thought he was one of the best corners in this draft. I don't really know why he fell to the fifth round, but corner is kind of a need for them, and they got a great one in the fifth round. I don't know much about the rest of their draft picks, but I do like Skylar Gill-Howard in the sixth round. I think he's good. That's good value, and you can always add more depth to your D-line. Next up, Green Bay Packers. They didn't have a first round pick, but I still think they did good. Brand Cisse in the second round. Great value. Corner is their biggest need, and they got a good one. I had him going late first round, early second round, so getting him at 52 was really good value. Their next two picks both were D-line, Chris McClellan, D-tackle, and Dennis Sutton, edge rusher. I think those are both good value picks. Dennis Sutton in the fourth round I had him going second, third round, and he adds more depth to that team. I don't know much about the remaining three picks. They did take a kicker in the sixth round, and kind of makes sense seeing how Brad McManus did against the Bears in the playoff game. Missed a lot of extra points, field goals. Might have been the reason they lost that game. So I like this draft class overall for them. Good starters picked, good depth picked. Last up, the Minnesota Vikings. I think the first round they kind of reached for Caleb Banks. Caleb Banks is a very good player, could be the best interior D lineman in this class, but there are injury issues with him, so we'll see how that ends up being. And he can be a starting D tackle along with Javon Hargrave, which makes me kind of confused why they took Dominique Orange in the third round. They have Caleb Banks, they have Javon Hargrave, but you can never have too many D linemen. You build through the trenches, that's how you win. They also took Jake Golday in the second round. I think that was a good pick. Linebacker is kind of a position of need for them. Caleb Tiernan in the third. I had him as a second round player, so that's pretty good value. He might be moving inside because they have good tackles, Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill. So one of those three are probably moving inside, or he's just a long-term replacement for Brian O'Neill. I don't know much about the rest of their players, but I do know Claiborne, running back in the 6th round, was good value. But one thing I don't like about their draft class, two things actually. They did not address safety or corner, which I think is their biggest need. Safety, DBs. They also didn't address running back, which I think Aaron Jones is aging, and Jordan Mason, I don't know if he can be your bell cow on a successful team. But I did like their first couple picks, so it was alright to me. In my opinion, the best draft class in this division was the Detroit Lions.